We're recording, right?
Okay. How
Hello,
are you,
Don.
Chris? You all right, mate?
Yes, mate. Tonight
Good.
we are doing
That's the one, yeah. I
cover
must tell
that
you,
launched the cover that launched 1,000 sideways thumb salutes.
I'll tell you what's amazing, how that fist, it's still all over the world even, I don't know, I told you that when we went back on the road, 91, 92, we went to Australia for 6, 8 weeks, and we was did a lot of driving, across the desert. And remember the one time I wanted to stop and have a wee. And we just pulled up, just on the side. There's nobody around because these roads, as long as you can see, and there's only you on the roads. And I remember we was having a wee once by some bushes, and this fish came out. This fish with the Slade on it. I think we all jumped back, and there was we all over. It was an Aborigine, and he went, "All right, Slade. I mean, what are the chances of that?" And then he just ran off. I mean, what are the chances of that? We were on the moon. We must be on the moon.
I think we can end it now. Then, Don. That's it.
But I mean, what are the chances of that?
How much? You imagine if you got £1 for every time you've done that with a photograph. Somebody's taken a photograph of you doing that.
It's even now, Chris. Even now, people do it.
Whose idea was it? Whose
Sorry?
idea was it? Do you know?
I don't know, but Chaz, it came from Chaz.
Yeah.
Whether it was his idea or not, I don't know. But I mean, it's just unbelievable. We didn't get it at first. We thought it was great because the SLADE fitted perfect on the knuckles.
Yeah.
And I insisted on keeping the plasters on.
Yeah.
But that's before I started wearing gloves for playing drums.
Yeah.
But
it's a great cover because I mean you've got the question Slade.
Yeah.
It's have you been Slade? Then
yeah.
No offence to anybody, but you're not a load of
We're not
you're not a girly band, are you?
Well, we'll not take that, are we? But
no.
But I'll tell you what, everybody kept on saying that ain't Dave's body. They've stuck a head on somebody else's body.
He's breathing in. I think he might be breathing in a bit there.
He looks actually. He is by the look of it. Yeah.
No offence, but I think he might be. And sort of, it's just brilliant. I mean,
it's amazing.
Nod's got his black shirt, his red trousers.
Of all the album covers, Chris, that's the one that always comes up in like classic album covers.
Yeah.
That one.
And the backside, you've got you've got the Chris Charlesworth.
That's it. Yeah.
So he's right.
That fish is just an iconic thing. It's just all over the bloody world.
This is my tatty cut. This is my original copy. This
nice
tatty.
one.
It's just falling apart. That's the one that you put on in your bedroom in front of the mirror, and you pretended that it was.
Okay. But I looked at it. I was looking. When you sent the email through, Chris, with the track listing, it's a bloody good album.
Yeah, but it's got that. I mean, it's even a proper Polydor bright red.
Yeah.
Label. It's pure. It's just.
I'll tell you what. I remember a few things about it when we did it, Chris.
Yeah.
When Slade Alive was the biggest thing in Australia.
Yeah.
In '73. This was the album that knocked Slade Alive off #1.
Yeah, December. Yeah. Brilliant.
He went to this knocked Slade Alive off #1, and they were both like 1 and 2 for I mean, just unbelievable.
Fantastic. It's it was the first album that you had, or Dave, you didn't have any writing credits on this.
No. I think what it was then, that's when Nod and Jim had found the little niche for the writing, and it was working great, so we just left it at that.
Yeah, but it gets off well, doesn't it? How Do You Ride?
Well, How Do You Ride was going to be a single.
Really?
Yeah, that was a contender for a single. That was,
I mean, it's a great starter because what is it? It just starts off with Nod saying "listen now," doesn't it? It goes, listen. The first word is Nod.
Okay, yeah, it was
saying "listen now,"
and that's when we started. Yeah, it was a contender for a single. That was, Chris.
What is that instead of Goodbye to Jane or
But I think
Mama instead of?
obviously Goodbye to Jane, because goodbye. Well, we'll come to Goodbye to Jane.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that. But
Yeah.
How'd You Ride was a contender for the single.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's one for the collectors.
Sorry.
No, that's one for a nice little bit of good bit of history. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I mentioned that, but it was a contender for a single. That was.
Yeah.
Sorry. And the whole world going crazy. That was just one by nod, and that's one that we actually used to play on stage. It was a great stage song. That was.
Yeah. It was the one came out as a flexi before the album.
One of those like magazine things. Oh,
magazine.
I don't remember that magazine.
Yeah, Music Scene. It's quite a good magazine, and it was stuck
I don't
here.
Remember that one, Chris.
You see, it says this. It says Slade single was here, and that caused a lot of confusion because people thought
that's what I was just that
you got a single coming out called "Was Here."
Oh, I've never seen that before, so I don't know anything about that one.
One for the collectors. There you go.
Yeah, I don't even know about that magazine.
Yeah, it's a good little magazine. You made the centre page. Do this. It's got Humble Pine and Alice Cooper and all sorts of things.
Wow.
It's a good serious one.
Right.
Centre page.
Yeah.
Pin up.
Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's have a look. Look at Last Night. That was I remember I love this album when it came out. Some great songs on it from Dot and Jim. And Look at Last Night was a great one to play as well. Yeah. It
was a good story song as well, wasn't it? Another one. Yeah. It told a good story.
Yeah. There are some really good songs there.
Yeah.
And some good stuff. And the next one I thought was great. Oh, let it happen again. But if you listen to that at the very start, I shout yeah as we start. Because as soon as we start, I shout yeah, because the groove was so good.
Yeah.
As soon as we start, and I just shout yeah, and you can actually sort of, if you got to listen hard, but you can actually hear it on the track. Because I love that kind of thing. Sort of when you can hear some spontaneity sort of thing.
Was this again one of those things where if you hadn't done by the third track, the album, you sort of wait in practice, put it down, and that was it. And if you hadn't done it by the third one,
that was the normal thing for us, Chris. It wasn't until later when, for some reason, don't know why, we started recording overnight. This is when Jazz obviously still up doing their production. He always insisted we record 12 lunchtime till 6.
Yeah,
and then finish.
How long did you spend on the album, do you reckon?
I can't remember. I think it went down pretty quickly, really, because I think I don't know whether we rehearsed all the stuff, but there's like there's a couple of stage songs on there, which we knew anyway.
Yeah.
And but it never really took us long to record anyway, Chris. Yeah, we weren't into spending hours and hours over tracks and things like that. If it didn't happen by the second or third take, we'd leave it and move on.
Yeah. Janis Joplin song, no? Next, Move Over.
Well, that was the classic stage song. That was.
Yeah.
Jim
was all over that, wasn't he? I mean.
Yeah. It was a great stage song, that was. I think we did that on nearly every album, because we did Let the Good Times Roll on the one album.
You did that on this one. It's the last track on this one.
That was a great stage song to do as well.
Did you ever do Fever?
I did. I did Fever with Susie and Andy.
Did you ever do it with Slade though? Because
But I think we did. I think we did try it, or we were going to do it. I think but if I remember right, we hadn't really got an arrangement for it.
Because Jim would have been all over that one as well, wouldn't he? That the bass on that.
Yeah.
The walking bass.
I think it was a contender, but I can't seem to think. What I remember, Chris, I don't think we could work an arrangement out.
No.
And yet, when we did it with when I did it with Angie and Susie, it happened like that. It was probably the first or second take we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, I think
But
on the
that was a
B-side,
great, but that was a great Move On was a great song to play
yeah,
live.
fantastic.
It's a great live
It's
song.
brilliant on this. It's just
Yeah,
fantastic song.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Goodbye to Jane. Well, that one, sort of. I think that was probably the first or second when we actually recorded that. That's probably the first or second take. Because what it was with that, Chris, when we actually recorded it, we had about 30, 40 minutes left in the studio. And
Yeah.
Chas says, well, we got this half an hour. Says, is there anything to not do? Have you got anything that we can just to use up the last 30 minutes? And that's when they had Goodbye to Jane. And that track went down just like that.
I think Goodbye to Jane is one of those that on this, because the pace you played it, because you got faster as you went on.
Yeah. Well,
you got faster.
It's always on stage. It was always a lot faster. It used to drive me nuts. It used to drive me nuts how fast we used to play stuff on stage.
Yeah, but this, in its original form, it's brilliant. It's a fantastic song.
It's a great groove, that is.
Yeah.
And that's really important to me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yet it was done literally in 30 minutes.
Yeah. But it had been released a few weeks earlier, so it was sort of a precursor for the album.
And that's unusual, because normally we had this policy where we never put singles on albums.
Yeah.
So but
no, it sort of detracts from the sales, doesn't it?
Yeah, but in America it's normal. They expect you to put the single on the album. In America, it's like the normal thing to do. And the next one, Goodbye, Goodbye. That was another great song in the studio to play as well.
Yeah,
another good one. That was I remember this was a great album to record. This was, Chris.
Well, I say it's the album. To me, it's the first. I love Play Loud. I think Play Loud's brilliant. Yeah. I love Slade Live, brilliant. Beginnings is what it is.
Yeah.
But this, to me, is
this was actually the first album where we went into record.
Yeah.
Record an album, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People did that before, but this was like we're on the crest of a wave.
Yeah,
and
it's a proper Slade album. Well, it's Slade album.
This one knocked Slade Alive off #1 in Australia.
Yeah, brilliant. Great. Mama, we're all crazy now.
Oh, that was the same. That went down literally first or second take. It was just it. I mean, it was just it. We just went for it, and that was it.
Brilliant.
First, and then and that was the first record of ours that actually entered the chart, because that entered the charts at #2.
Yeah.
Because that was the first one that had done that. Had gone in like that. I remember when the charts came out on a Tuesday. I'm trying to think whether we had phones then. I know Jim had a phone, but we used to have to listen to the chart rundown at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And of course, when it's coming down, I thought, it ain't in the charts. It hasn't done it. And of course, when we got to #2, I thought, bloody hell, that was unbelievable. But no, great. That was always. It always has been a great song, for a live song. A great song.
But again, that you got faster later on in life, didn't it?
They all did. It used to drive me nuts. It drove me nuts, Chris. It was like it was almost like an American soul band. They always used to play everything about 4 times faster than what the single was. It really used to. It drove me nuts. That did. Really. It was really one of my pet hates. That was how fast we had to do. We did like.
Did you ever discuss it in the band? Did you ever say?
Yeah, but they said that it was because of excitement. I said, it ain't excitement. It's like blooming, four maniacal guys on stage playing. To me, you lose all the soul out of a song when you're playing it like ridiculously fast. I used to hate it, Chris. I really hate it. It just drives me nuts.
Oh dear. Anyway,
I don't mind that.
I don't mind.
That was a great song to play. When we recorded that.
Yeah,
that was
again easy pace again, isn't it?
Yeah. It was a nice groove. That was. I'm trying to think when we did all these, whether we actually rehearsed them beforehand, we always used to,
Yeah.
and I've seen, except for Goodbye to Jane, that was done, like, I think, like, when we recorded that was done in the last half an hour of a session, but yeah, I'm trying to think whether we rehearsed a lot of these, but I Don't Mind was a good song to record.
And
it never worked on stage.
No.
Worked on stage.
Did the final one is Let the Good Times Roll and Feel So Fine.
That was a great stage song. That's why it was just a great stage song. That was.
The Shirley and Lee song to me is a novelty song because you got the man singing the thing, and then
I don't think I've ever heard it, Chris. I can't remember.
It's a duet. Shirley and Lee, there was sort of a duet, and the guy who wrote the song, Leonard Lee, I think his name was.
It's on the internet or something.
He sort of sang it, and then the woman Shirley came in with this really high pitched voice.
Okay.
I could be wrong. To me, it's a novelty song. But the way you do it, it's not.
It is an old song. I'll see if I can find it and have a listen. But it was always a great stage song. That was.
Yeah, it's a corker. And Feel So Fine. I mean, you did it as the original In-Betweens, didn't you?
Yeah, when we did the Barclay things of Pie Studios. Yeah, that's when Jimmy Page came in the studio.
Yeah. So you knew the song then. But I think that I say I'll tell you how popular the album is. Last week, the last few weeks, there's been a poll being run by a Facebook page, Slade in England, and it got voted the #1 album.
Did it?
Yeah. And they also did the singles, and in the top 10 singles, three of the tracks off here got in the top 10 singles.
Oh, really?
So it's still incredibly popular.
How popular that album was, as I say, it was a biggie, because we thought it came off the back of Slade Alive, things like that, which is a mega album anyway.
Yeah.
And like I said, in Australia, it knocked Slade Alive off #1.
Yeah. But it was a proper album, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think
you've done Slade Alive, so you had to do a.
Because what it was, Chris, we always used to. A lot of, around that time or just before, we'd be sort of playing gigs. So we go in the studio and we had to finish about 4 or 5 to get to a gig if there's a gig just outside London somewhere. And I think this was the first album where that's what we did, just the album. So when we finished, we used to go back to the hotel or go and have something to eat or whatever, go to pictures. And
so you were you were in that position at that stage. I mean, you'd had Goodbye to Jane, Mama All Crazy Now, Cause I Love You, #1. You had all the so you were established. You were proper band by then.
Yeah, real band.
Real blimey.
Yeah, and that's what we could actually go in just to record that album without having to go off somewhere to do a gig. We took the time out. Yeah. It's probably about 3 weeks, I think, Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's as I say, it's #1 in the Slade in England charts. I think it was Mama and Goodbye to Jane and I Won't Let It Happen Again all got in the top 10.
I Won't Let It Happen Again was I can't remember. I don't know whether we did actually play it on stage, but it was a great song to record.
Yeah. Again, a good groove. It's
that's what I said. You can even shout at the start.
Yeah.
If you listen when it starts, is it? But no, it was a good album to make. That is, in a way, if you like, I can understand why it's so popular. There's some great songs on it. Some good songs.
You've also got the thing where it was probably a lot of people's first proper album that they weren't getting off.
Yeah, and I think also as well, we were riding the crest of a wave, so we felt pretty good. So
people weren't buying. They weren't buying the older brothers and sisters stuff. This was their first album.
I think what it was is, like I said as well, Chris. We actually went in to record the album. We didn't sort of have to finish about 4 o'clock to go and do a gig. We actually took I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, I can't remember, something like that. But we never took that long. And that's what we did. We actually just went in to record the album.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, good one there. Good one.
Can't argue with it. It's fantastic.
No.
Shall we
As I
make
said,
the
it's the iconic album cover, it is as well.
Yeah, it's genius.
Yeah.
It is. If you got a pound for every time you'd done the sideward salute, you'd be an even richer man.
It's unbelievable. And we even have policemen doing it, you know, sort of thing, or
Yeah.
like security at the airport,
Yeah.
you know, sort of thing. But,
Yeah. It must be. I can't think of anything else that people do that. I mean,
No?
specifically for a band sort of thing.
I know.
We'll probably get people to say, "Oh yeah, such and such do," you know, the hall.
Yeah,
and all that
but
sort of
I don't know what. It was Chaz who told her, you know, but whether somebody mentioned it to him, whether it was somebody else's idea and told him, but it came from Chaz, Chris.
Yeah,
that.
No, it's great. I mean, it's made some mileage for you. It's recognisable, as you say. That's the one the album, the cover they go to. So,
and like I said, no matter where we go in the world, it's always that. It's unbelievable. No matter where you go, it's that, you know.
Bless. Right. I think that's the end of that talk. So we better make the big announcement, hadn't we?
What's that?
What's that? About get the chance to talk to you on here.
Okay. Well, the people to sort of do a thing to, yeah. I mean, how are we going to do that, Chris?
Go to your Facebook page, the Don Powell Facebook page.
Are they hearing you? So people can hear this, what you're saying?
Yeah. And they've got to listen to this. So, and I'm going to tell them what to do. They go to the Facebook page, and then I'll put the link to this talk we're doing now.
Yeah.
And they don't have to answer a question. All they've got to do is like this video, and then come back to the page and put the names on. Once the name's written down, we'll put it in the hat, and we'll do a draw somehow.
We'll sort something.
And we'll sort it out. All they need to do is they've got to have access to Zoom, and then we can sort it out between ourselves.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good, that one, Chris. We look forward to
the ability to speak fluent English should help as well, wouldn't it? Yeah.
That's no use saying that to me, but
it's the language of Shakespeare.
That'll be good. What we can do as well, Chris, we can do that every so often.
Yeah, great. That'd be brilliant.
Not every time.
No.
Every so often.
Every couple of 3 months or something like that.
It remains fresh.
We can't expect him to speak as fluently or as eloquently as we are. I mean, we're proper English.
Like what we do. Like what we have.
It's the language of Shakespeare, mate. You know that.
That's it, yeah. Well, he wasn't too far from us, was he?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You
do me and you do Macbeth.
I always remember, I think it was when independent radio started. I don't know whether it was, I think it was Wolverhampton. I can't remember what the first Wolverhampton independent station was. I can remember it's down the Waterloo Road.
Yeah.
But I remember there's the local ads, you know, they were fantastic. I remember the first one, it was a butcher shop, you know. Come to Ida for your chops. I don't like that. I mean, it wouldn't work outside of Wolverhampton.
Everybody thinks we come from blooming Poland because you say, nobody's heard of Bloxwich. I say Warsaw. So you're from Polish.
Well, Scotland's the best one we've had. Are you from Scotland? Well, because we always have to say Wolverhampton or Birmingham because they couldn't say Bilston because they haven't got a clue, you know. Because we go to, especially the first few tours of America, we say we're from Wolverhampton. What's that? Wolvershire? No. They haven't got a clue. We forget Bilston. Forget that, you know.
Warsaw. Me and my mate went down to. Was it Nebworth in '76 to see the Stones?
Oh right, what was that like?
They were good. They were all right. Yeah. Came on a bit late, but they were all right. And we were a bit worse for wear at one point, and we got sort of befriended by these Scottish people because they thought we were Polish, and they said, you speak really good English, don't you? And we said, yeah. And they said, where from? We're Warsaw. Oh yeah.
It's amazing though, isn't it? It is incredible, you know, sort of thing. Yeah, like I said, we used to think we were from Scotland or something. I mean, but it's just amazing.
Right, I'll do the last reminder. Go to the Facebook page, put your name on. We'll do a draw, and you can come on here one of the nights or whatever, and we'll have a chat.
That'll be a good year. That will.
Right, I'm going to stop the recording, John. Thank you very much indeed.